In this sneak peek, we hear from Valerie McMurry, founder of Ground Root Development, and she shares why she chose to sell her home in the gated community and move to South Oklahoma City in a neighborhood that's full of poverty, broken sidewalks, and slum landlords. Come back on Wednesday to catch the full episode. I love it. I love it. So you started by building one home
One home.
in this neighborhood, one home in this neighborhood. And then what did you do with that one home? Did you sell it so you could build more homes? What did you do with it?
That was my intent, but it wasn't God's intent. Okay. And I'm being very honest. That wasn't my intent, because I'm like, God, how do I start this? Because I started trying to work out all the details. Isn't that what we do when God gives us something to do? We go and try to figure out all the details. But what God showed me at that time, I had to trust him. So my plans was to sell, get the money, invest it back into the company, keep building homes and keep going. But that was not God's intention. So about a year ago, when we first started building our first home, and at that time, we had not made that decision that I was going to move into it. Okay. I was struggling. I would be very honest. I was challenged. It's like, you know what, God? I've always lived in communities that had nice gates around them. I've always lived in the very elite areas where everything was pretty, everything surrounded me was healthy. It represented just prosperity. And I'm like, God, now you're wanting me to move in areas where broken sidewalks, where trash, where now, I'll be living by myself. It's like, are you sure, God? But I struggle. So I said, okay, God, if this is from you, whatever it is that you want me to do, I will be obedient. And God tells us obedience is better than sacrifice. Okay. He said, if you love me, obey me. So I was watching TV. I had asked God to give me signs. I'm not even a TV watcher. Okay. I was watching TV about 11:45. I know the time. I turned on the TV, didn't have a clue what channel it was on. This guy was looking at me directly. Okay. He said, if you want to change the neighborhood, move into the neighborhood. Literally. And I journal pretty much every day. I've been journaling for about 10 years. So I wrote this down in my journal, and I'm like, okay, God, it's done. It was no longer questionable. So I made up my mind, and I had people going, are you sure you're going to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? But I chose to move into the neighborhood. I moved into the neighborhood January of this year. And since I've been over there, it was the best thing, because it gives me an opportunity to really follow the prompting of the Holy Spirit and to be a blessing for these families. And you mentioned it. And we build homes from the ground up, but we build communities. And you were so right in the introduction, making sure there are sidewalks, address the broken sidewalks. We have slum landlords. Okay. We have leaning light poles that are almost falling down. We have trees. We have dilapidated homes. We have children that don't have a clue what a healthy family life looks like. We have people that need food. We have so many needs are there, but more importantly, a community that needs hope, that needs resources. And so I want to provide them what God provided for me growing up. Although the town I was raised in looked like failure, because of, if you look at it, the statistics says Valerie is not supposed to be who she say she is or who she is. But because of God, that spiritual support, that educated mother, home ownership, having property, it changed the trajectory of my life and my children's life. And God tells us that we are to be generational focused. So that's what I've moved into that neighborhood and tried to do, is start changing some of the things that are going over in the neighborhood. And I love the babies. I love the children. I can tell you so many stories, but we don't even have time to tell them. But it's about our children. It's about the next generation.
Thank you for joining us for a sneak peek into the Cultivate OKC podcast. To catch the full episode and many more, go to cultivate.city. We believe that no city can become great unless everyone thrives, not just the privileged or the opportunistic or the connected or credentialed. We believe entrepreneurs and their ventures have an outsized impact on flipping the script. Our hope is that Oklahoma City will become famous for an atmosphere of flourishing. We believe a courageous, connective movement of entrepreneurs leading redemptive ventures will play an outsized role in that story, and we exist to nurture and multiply that movement. Will you join us?